Welcome, welcome to our Westside Wellbeing yoga practice. We have 45 minutes of some wonderful stretching, being kind to our bodies and breathing. And we're going to start in a seated position. So you've found your way to this video, whether you're joining me live or whether you are doing this at a time that suits you better. So you've done the hardest part. So you owe it to yourself for the next 45 minutes to turn off anything that's going to distract you or bug you. Close doors if you can. Have some water to hand because that's going to be useful. But we're taking it nice and gently. So once you find your way into this comfortable seated position, think about your sit bones connecting to the mat, the outsides of the feet connecting to the mat beneath you. Try and have a spine that is long, but a body that is relaxed. And you can close out the eyes. Hands can rest on the knees or in the lap. And there's nothing that has to change yet. There's nothing that you have to do. Just see if you can start to pay attention. Pay attention to what kind of energy you're bringing onto your mat. Paying attention to what kind of body you're bringing, what kind of thoughts, feelings, emotions you're bringing. And you can imagine your mind is like a lovely, beautiful house. And as you start to notice the sorts of thoughts, feelings, emotions that are running through your mind, take a moment to acknowledge them, to greet them, and then show them out the door of your house. We don't need them for the next 45 minutes. And instead of being led by whatever's going on in your mind, you're going to start to control your consciousness by bringing your focus to your breath with a nice deep inhale through the nose and a nice long exhale. Inhaling, filling up the lungs with fresh energy and oxygen for the practice ahead of you. And exhaling anything you're not going to need for the next 45 minutes. I'm going to invite you to bring one hand to rest on your belly and one hand to rest on your back. So I'm just showing you here from the side. And I want you to just feel as you inhale how the body changes. And feel it as you exhale. From here, sliding the hands to your waist. So you've got one hand either side of your waist, and you're starting to feel how the side of your body moves as you inhale and as you exhale. And then let's bring one hand back to the belly again, and this time one hand up to the chest. So we're not only feeling how the torso moves around the waist, but we're also feeling how the chest moves as we inhale and exhale. Lovely. You can release the hands back to your lap. Just take one more deep inhale. One more deep exhale. Sliding the left hand down by the left hip. We're going to start to reach the right fingertips up and over. Gazes up towards the lifted hand or fingers. You might find you can settle down onto the forearm, but if that means you start to lift up your right sit bones, just come back up onto the hand. Inhaling, coming all the way up, right hand to the right hip by the floor, and then start to reach the left fingertips up and over, maybe coming down onto the forearm. And then inhale, coming all the way back up to center. Cross the legs the other way around. Bring the chin to the chest and then roll right ear to the right shoulder and rolling back. Left ear to the left shoulder and rolling back. Just moving the neck with the breath, being really careful not to overstretch or strain into the neck. Nice. Finding your way to a comfortable seated position again. Take the arms down beside you. As you inhale, take the arms all the way up. As you exhale, let the hands come down. 2 more like this. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Nice. This time as you inhale, take the arms all the way up. We're going to twist to the right hand side. Again, I'll just show you this from the side. Right fingertips come back behind you. Left hand to the right knee. Gaze over the back shoulder. Breathe. Excellent. Inhale, come all the way back around to center. And as you exhale, twist the other way. Right hand to the left knee. Gaze over the shoulder behind you. Breathe. Inhale, coming all the way back to center. We're bringing the hands to rest on the knees, taking seated cat and cow. So as you inhale, belly comes forward, chest opens, shoulder blades come together, gaze goes up. As you exhale, arch the spine, tuck the chin, rocking back on your sit bone. Inhaling, coming all the way forwards. Exhaling, rocking back. Taking 3 more like this. One more. Nice. Inhale, coming all the way back up. Help your knees in towards each other, feet together. Just give yourselves a nice big hug, wrapping your arms around the top of the shins. Nice big squeeze. Flex the toes up towards the ceiling and then just start to slide the heels away from you along the mat. We're coming into a forward fold. So in our forward fold, we're going to soften and release the legs, but we're not going to really stress and strain the body in this one. We're going to round into our forwards fold. So we're letting the chin roll in towards the chest. We're letting the hands slide forward. We're letting the forehead come down towards maybe the knees or the thighs. We're going to try and take any tension out of the back of the neck. And we're going to take 3 more breaths here. On your next inhale, slowly start to walk the hands back in towards the body, rolling all the way up the spine, bending into the right knee, hugging the right knee in towards the body. Slide the right foot to the inside of the left thigh as you open that right knee out to the side. Turn your torso over your left big toe. And again, from here, we're just going to roll forwards. So this is really not about getting the hands to reach the foot. This is really about rolling forward, softening forwards, forehead maybe to rest on a block, a cushion, or just hover and hang. Two more breaths. As you inhale, slowly start to roll all the way back up the spine, helping that right knee in towards the body, extending the right leg away. Left knee comes in towards the body, left foot to the inside of the thigh. Turn your torso so your belly button is starting to shoot out towards the right big toes. And again, roll forwards. This is really about being soft and gentle with the spine here, letting the head hang heavy, taking tension out of the neck and the shoulders. If you feel like there's any aggravation in your lower back, just come back up until it feels comfortable for you. Taking 3 more breaths. Inhaling, rolling all the way back up, head coming all the way back up, help the left knee in. Nice. So, bring both knees in towards the body. I'm just turning around so you can see. Bring the soles of the feet together, opening the knees out wide. I don't really mind how close those feet are towards the body. They just need to feel good for you. So you can have your fingertips behind you, helping you sit up nice and tall. You might want to grab hold of the feet. From here, again, it's a rounding forward. So we're bending into the elbows, rolling the chin to chest, rolling the forehead down towards those feet. Breathing here. So we're really taking it slow and steady today, a real recharge of the batteries. As you inhale, roll up the spine, coming all the way back up. And we're going to bring the knees back in towards each other and then extend the feet wide so that we can come into a wide leg forward fold. So if you want to turn so that you're on the long edge of your mat, that is fine. Turn your belly button over towards the left big toes, one hand on either side of the leg, and then just start to fold forwards, creeping the hands forwards, bowing the forehead down towards that left knee or shin or thigh. With my hair, the plait gets a little bit heavy on one side of the head, so I like to just make sure it's as neutral as possible so it's not straining my neck. From here, we're going to bring the left hand maybe to the left shin or behind the left leg as we start to twist and open the chest. Right fingertips reaching towards the left toes, gazes up towards the lifted arm. Nice. Turning the torso back down towards the leg. Walk the hands all the way round to your other leg. One hand either side of that right leg as you start to fold forwards. Excellent. Couple more breaths here. And then bring the right hand to the right shin or thigh or just behind that right leg as you start to twist and open the chest. Left fingertips reaching up and over towards the big toe. Inhale, turn that torso down, reach the hands all the way forwards, coming into a wide leg forward fold. You can keep the hands reaching forwards, or you might want to grab hold of the feet as you use that leverage to pull the torso down towards the mat. Three more breaths here. Excellent. Release the hands, slowly start to walk up. Hands coming in towards the body. Head coming all the way up, soften into the knees. Use your hands to bring your knees all the way back together. And you can give yourself a nice hug, a nice little squeeze. Bringing the hands back behind you, feet to the floor, and just windscreen wiper the knees from left to right. So I'm just going to come round back onto the mat, windscreen wipering those knees. And if you want to, you can take the gaze up, just starting to counteract all that forward folding. Excellent. Finding your way up to a seated position, legs out in front of you. Roll onto your left hip and bend into the right knee. And then come back to an upright seated position. Right knee pointing straight towards the end of your mat. Right toes pointing straight back behind you. You can stay here, or you can bring the hands back behind you and just like I suggested before, open the head, the chest, the throat, take the gaze backwards. If you feel good here, you can come down onto your forearms. Lovely. Chest is open. Option, if I've got the space here, we're going to roll all the way down onto the back. But just see how it feels, because if you get there and your knee starts to lift up like mine is now, like I'm showing you, then just come up a little bit higher. If you get down to the floor, you want to bring the arms up above the head, fantastic, you can stay here. Just releasing into that right quad, and we're also just getting a little back bend here, which is just really nice after all that forward folding. And you've got time here, so you don't have to find a posture and hold it. You can move around. We've got 5 more breaths. Maybe noticing that you can go a little bit deeper the longer that we hold the posture. Nice work. Releasing the arms down beside you. Slowly, in your own time, coming back up onto your elbows. Releasing the head forward, coming back up onto your hands. When you get here, we're going to just roll onto that left hip and then extend the right leg out in front of you. Release the legs. Maybe again, just knock the knees from side to side. Getting ready to do the same posture on the opposite side. So this time we roll onto the right hip, bend the left knee points forward, left toes point back behind us. Try and get both sit bones here square to the hip. Square to the floor, sorry. If this feels uncomfortable, you can sit on a cushion and you can stay working here. So just remember your options, and just because it felt good on one side doesn't mean it will on the other. So you might want to just stay here on the hands. You know we're here for a while, so breathe into it. We know that as we exhale and soften, the body softens and relaxes in return. So you might find you can start to come down onto the forearms. You might want to drop the head back. In time, you might find your way lowering all the way onto the mat. Without trying to lift up that left knee, you want to keep the knee pushing down to the floor. Arms beside you or up above the head. You can notice that one quadricep feels tighter than the other. So that's that big muscle on the front of the thigh. This definitely feels more tight for me on the left side than on the right side. Maybe there's something in the way that I walk or exercise, or the way that I sit and do work, maybe in the way that I sleep, that I'm just creating this imbalance. 5 more breaths here. Awesome stillness. If the arms are up above the head, releasing them down. Coming back up onto your elbows. Take your time. Head can start to come back up. You can come back up onto the hands, rolling onto the right hip. Left leg extends away from you. And you might just want to be still here, or you might want to bounce up through the legs. You might want to just walk up and down, using those hips. You can bend into the knees, open and close through the legs. Just find what feels good for your body here. And then we're going to start to come all the way down to lie on our mat. So just make sure you've got space to lie down. Keep a bend in the knees, soles of the feet to the floor. When you get here, cross the right ankle on top of the left thigh. Start to push the right thigh away from the body. If that feels a little bit too passive, you can take the hands underneath the right thigh and hug that knee in towards the body. So really have that sensation that you're pushing your right thigh away from the body as much as you're pulling the left thigh in towards it. And feel your lower back fully connected to the floor beneath you here. It's a nice way to massage into the lower back at the same time. Taking 3 more breaths. Excellent. Releasing the left foot down to the mat. Grab hold of the outside of the right foot as you start to bring the right knee down towards the floor and the outside of your right shoulder. The right foot is parallel to the ceiling above you, and your left hand can be on your left hip to help weigh it down, maybe extending the left leg away from you. Keep squeezing that knee down towards the floor, releasing into the hip. We're taking 3 breaths here. Excellent. Release the foot and then just interlace the fingers around the top of the right shin and hug the right knee down towards the right shoulder. And you can extend the left leg away or keep a bend in the knee, just see how it feels. Every time you exhale, squeeze and hug the knee closer towards the shoulder. And then hold it there. Start to circle into your right ankle, turning the foot all the way around in one direction. And then back the other way. And then finding stillness here. Just release the right hand to the right knee, left hand to the left hip as you start to circle around into that right hip. Circling back the other way. Any clicks or cracks are fine as long as they're not causing you any pain. If they're causing pain, adjust. From here, just open the right knee out to the side, right hand to the inside of that right knee or thigh. And we're just going to make this super passive. Just open up into that right hip. Breathe here. Inhale, bring the knee all the way back to center. Loop the hands around the back of the right thigh and just start to push the right leg up towards the ceiling. And we're going to point and flex through the toes. So we start to feel the stretch into the calf. It doesn't matter if there's a bend in the knee or if you've got the leg straight. You can find stillness with that ankle and maybe start to walk the hands up the leg a little bit as you work into the hamstrings, pulling that right leg in towards the body. Excellent. Bend into the knee and release the right leg all the way out to meet the left. And you might notice here that it's starting to feel a little bit different on the right side of the body versus the left. Let's even things out. Bending back into the knees, left ankle to the top of the right thigh, starting to push the left thigh away from the body. Option to take both hands underneath the right thigh, hugging it in towards you, breathing here. That sensation is that the left thigh is moving away from you as the right thigh is coming closer towards your body. Three more breaths here. Releasing the right foot, left hand, slide it to the outside of the left foot and start to bring that left knee down towards the floor, towards the outside of the left shoulder. Left foot parallel to the ceiling, maybe right leg extends away. Maybe you've just got a small bend in it. Just see how it feels. Trying to keep the right hip super glued to the mat. Really giving ourselves an opportunity to release and open into those hips. 3 more breaths. Excellent. Release the foot. Loop the hands around the top of that left shin as you extend the right leg away and start to squeeze the left knee down towards the left shoulder. Hold the knee exactly where it is and circle round into that left ankle and back the other way. Right hand, slide it to the right hip, left hand to the left knee, and let's circle round into that left hip. Again, just noticing any clicks or cracks. So don't worry about them as long as they're not painful. If they are painful, just adjust your circle. We're going to turn the circle back around the other way. And then slide the hand to the inside of the left knee or thigh as you open that knee out towards the side. Just this nice passive opening into the hip. So much of our life we spend with our hips in this rigid forwards and backwards motion, forgetting about all the rotation that our hips are capable of. So we're just readdressing that in our yoga practice. As you inhale, bring the knee all the way back to center, loop the hands around the back of the thigh and push the left leg up towards the ceiling, pointing and flexing through the toes. Doesn't matter if the knee is bent or straight. And then finding stillness with the ankle, starting to stretch into the hamstrings, maybe starting to slide the hands up the leg a little bit higher, but try and keep your shoulders, your upper body released to the mat. Breathing here. Awesome. Releasing into the knee and extending the left leg all the way out to meet the right. So we've got a couple more postures to go till we make it to our very final posture of this practice. You can bend into the knees, soles of the feet to the floor, cross the right leg over the left. If you can, see if you can get the right ankle somewhere behind the left calf, but it doesn't matter if you can't. Shuffle onto your left hip, bring the knees to the floor, reach the right fingertips away from you, gaze follows the fingertips. Just breathe here. Nice deep twist. Thinking not only about the external parts of the body that we can feel being stretched, but also what's going on in our internal organs, in our core, in our torso. How stretching, misshaping those internal organs just help to aid their functioning. As you inhale, slowly start to come all the way back up. Unravel, unwind through the legs. Same thing on the other side. Left leg crosses over the right, left ankle behind the right calf. Shuffle onto the right hip as the knees come down onto the mat. Left fingertips reach away, gaze follows the fingertips. On your next inhale, slowly start to bring the knees all the way back up to center. Unravel, unwind those legs. Come all the way back onto your back and extend the legs away from you just for a moment. Let the body download what you've just been doing. And then bend back into the knees again. Bring the soles of the feet to the floor. One final hip opening posture, super passive. Let the knees open out wide to the width of your mat. Feet can be close or far away from the body. Just adjust them so that it feels good for your lower back. Arms can be beside you, or you can reach the arms all the way up above the head, grabbing hold of wrists, forearms, fingertips, elbows, whatever you can grab. Completely settling here into this posture of surrender. Completely open and ready to give, and also completely open and ready to receive. We're going to take 5 more breaths here. And as you exhale, slowly start to release the arms back down beside the body. Use your hands to help bring those thighs back up to center. And then extend the legs away from you, coming into your very final posture of this practice. Get any fidgets, final movements out of your system so you could be completely still here. There is nothing left to do but breathe. If you'd like to stay here for a little bit longer, please feel free. If you'd like to transition out of your final Shavasana, please start to think about taking a slightly deeper, longer inhale through the nose and a longer exhale. As you inhale, literally start to inspire life back into your bodies. As you wiggle your fingers and your toes. As you exhale, rotate through the wrists and the ankles, maybe releasing the head from side to side. On an inhale, letting the arms come all the way up above the head, finding a full body stretch. And then releasing the arms down beside the body. Rolling over onto your right hand side. Take a gentle recovery position here. And as you inhale, slowly start to push yourselves up to a comfortable seated position. Closing out the eyes when you get here if you've had to open them. Taking a nice deep inhale through the nose. And a nice long sigh out the mouth. Knowing that wherever you are in this precise moment is exactly where you're meant to be. Namaste. Thank you so much for finding this time in your day to practice and sharing it with me and Westside Wellbeing. and know that we release yoga, Pilates, circuits, Tabata videos every week, 1 o'clock on a Wednesday. So hopefully see you for another session again soon. Bye.